Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Master Mark Kanar here today, and I'm going to give you guys another Master's message. And today I want to talk to you guys about a very, very powerful thing to have, and that is called negotiation. You know, you don't get what you deserve in life, you get what you negotiate. That's just the truth about it. And I see a lot of people, a lot of time, I'll talk to them and they tell me how they hate their job or they feel like they aren't getting paid enough, like they're doing somebody a favor because they're not getting paid what they feel that they're worth. And when that happens, you kind of got to stand up for yourself. You kind of have to have that high self confidence, okay? Because people will try to take advantage of you if you don't. And one of the books that I read when I was younger, about 5 years ago, really changed my life. I read a lot. Like some people who know me know that I'm always reading or I'm always listening to audiobooks. In my mind, I want to learn as much as I possibly can. And my mind is like, it's like a muscle almost. And if you stop learning, it's going to get weak and fatigued. You're not going to be sharp. And when you're in my situation, you got to constantly be learning because I have so much stuff going on in my life and people can try to get by on me if I'm not mentally sharp. And that's just the sad truth about it. Okay. So the book that I read was called The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's probably one of my favorite books. And I've read it numerous times. And the reason why I'll read a book more than once is I have a philosophy called drillers make killers, okay? And I have that same philosophy when I go and spar at tournaments and things like that. If I do the most roundhouse kicks, if I do the most back kicks, if I do the most martial art techniques, guess what? I'm probably going to win because I have the most amount of experience. So when I first read this book, I had to get in the right mindset. And basically what happens is there's this guy named Arcad, and he's got two friends, and the two friends are he's got two friends that he went to school with, I should say. And they hadn't really seen Arcad in a while. And the one guy was a chariot maker, and the other guy, I believe, was a brick maker. And they start talking, and they wanted to borrow money from each other, but neither one of them had any money. And they were baffled by it, like, "Hey, you're a chariot maker. You should have some money." So they're working really hard all the time, but they're really not getting forward in life. And they see that their old schoolmate, Arcad, is just loaded. And they don't understand why. But they realize that Arcad didn't treat them any differently just because they didn't have any money. And they went up to him one day and said, "Hey, we work just as hard as you, but it seems like the gods kind of gave you more than you deserve, so to speak." And Arcad kind of put him in their place. He said, "No, that's not what happened." He goes, "I ran into somebody who was really wealthy, and I asked them if they could teach me how to do it." And in the story, there's this guy named Algamesh who was very, very wealthy, and he wanted Arcad to carve these laws or these rules into this clay tile, and it was hard work. And Arcad, no matter how hard he tried, he just could not get them done in time. And Algamesh came and started, he wanted to really thrash him, so to speak, but he didn't. And Arcad looked at him and said, "Listen, Algamesh, this is super hard to do." He goes, "I'll make you a deal. I'll negotiate with you." And he said to him that if he got done by the next day, he'll work all night, that Algamesh has to explain to him how he became very wealthy. And Argamesh was just like really taken back by it. Algamesh didn't know what to think. He was just like, wow. Was this guy's he says in the book, a forward knave, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple months since I read the book. And he ended up teaching him that. He taught him a bunch of lessons. Literally, Algamesh became Arcad's mentor. And Arcad didn't have another job or anything. He still had the same job he did, but he did certain things to help him be able to move forward in life, like saving 10% of what he earned and trying to pay off his own house and all these different principles that you need to have in order to be successful in life. And I remember reading that book and saying, you know what? Things are going to change because I got a game plan now. Okay. Before I didn't. I just was kind of out there doing whatever I had to do. And I have to negotiate. I got to say, hey, this isn't what I'm going to do. I'm going to find somebody or something to help me. And that was it. I started negotiating in life harder than what I normally did. I didn't let things that I didn't think was right. I would tell people that. I would stand up for myself more. And that really helped me reading the book. And Algamesh had all these different things that he made Arcad do. And Arcad made these really dumb mistakes. And Algamesh was his coach. And he was a brutal coach and would say it as it is. Like, you messed up. You need to restart. But in the end, what ended up happening was Algamesh didn't have anybody to give him his fortune at the end, and Arkad had became very wealthy. So at the end of the book, in the book before Algamesh dies, he ends up giving his wealth to Arkad because he knew his sons would just blow it. They didn't understand about saving wealth and how to make wealth become more wealth. Okay, they didn't understand the art of negotiation, and that's what you have to do. You really have to negotiate if you want something in life, and you can't be afraid to do it. You have to know your self-worth. That's that. Okay? And in life, you really want to find a mentor. That's just very, very important. And like for myself, I'm always growing as a martial art instructor. If you look at what I've done in my life, I have put in a lot of experience into what I've done. And this is something that's a lifelong journey for me. 25 years of my life, nonstop. There wasn't any stopping. There wasn't a year I didn't go to competitions or anything like that. I was always there. I always was there. I always showed up. Okay? And a lot of great things happened. Okay? And I negotiated not just with people, but myself too. Like, hey, here's the deal. If you want to do this later on, then you're going to have to train this much. And I kept true to myself. And that was really important to have that type of negotiation skills. All right? So if you want to get out of that bad job, negotiate. And I'm going to tell you one of the most powerful negotiation tools that I've ever done, is I literally walk away. When someone doesn't want to negotiate with me and they want to do dumb things, I just walk away. And I love helping people that want to help themselves out, and I'll help those people. But then sometimes what happens is these people, they stop trying to help themselves out and they think you have to do everything. That isn't going to work. Okay? I remember my uncle told me one time, he said, if you want to get something done, find the busiest person, you'll get it done. And that's so true. But you want to know something? Walking away is sometimes the best negotiation skills that you can have. Because what happens is you were there, you offered what you had, they didn't want to take it, or they pulled their feet, or they drug their feet. And then what you do is you say, hey, I'm taking it away, because you're not going to live with regret. You actually tried. Maybe you got turned down, or they just didn't want to deal with you, or they just didn't believe in what you had. But you know what? Later on in life, when they see you keep moving forward, they're going to be like, man, they're probably going to regret their decision in the end. All right? And they're going to say, maybe I should have went with that guy. Maybe he did know what he was talking about. Okay? And that's having to do with your self-esteem, your self-imagery, what you see in yourself. So what I got to tell you today, guys, is listen, if you want to get what you deserve, put your foot down, negotiate. Don't like your job? Find a different one. Don't like the pay you got? Don't be afraid to go up and say something about it. Okay? They want to see that they have confidence and they have confident employees anyways. All right? That's just the way that it is. And that's my master's message for today. And I hope you guys like it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.